There are people like the far left that want to make everything, like they want to make everything the same, make everything what they want it. They don't want it to be different than what they want it. They want it to be what they want it. They want the whole thing, they want the whole picture and the whole image and the whole movie to be how they want it to go. They don't want it to be off script. They want it to be like a real thing, how they want it to be. They don't want it to be how they don't want it to be. And how they don't want it to be is different, whether it be ideological, intellectual, mentality, psychological, sociological, socio-psychological, and many other things. The way they do it is not the way they do it, but the way they do it is the way they do it, and not the way they do it. And the way they do it, the way they control. The way they do it, the way they don't control. The way they control is not the way they control, but the way they think they control. They only control what they only control. They only control what they don't control. They don't control the man. They don't control the woman. They don't control other people. They don't control the baby. They don't control nothing. Nothing is what they control. They control nothing, so they control something. They control something, but they control nothing. And why is that? What gives them the right? What gives them the right to do that? What gives them, what bees? What bees? What doesn't be is what doesn't is. And what doesn't is what we don't want to be. And when we say that, it's not what they control, it's the control of the language, of the intellect, of the dialect, of the whole cultural realm, of the whole cultural philosophical realm, and the whole realm regarding humanity. The humanity is not one religion. Humanity is made up of every religion, every different thing, every different ideological operation. Ideological operations are beautiful. What doesn't mean beauty is mass controlism and mass control. When you control, you win. When you don't control, you don't win. You have to win in order to control. The way of control is not the way of control. The way of control doesn't mean You are not in control. The way of control can be controlled. The way of freedom and free intellectual discussions should not be controlled, should not be discussed as haters and trolls, should not be discussed in a way that is negative. The way it should be discussed is a way of positive. When you're Mr. Positive, you're Mr. Positive. When you're Mr. Negative, you're Mr. Negative. When you're Mr. Optimist, you're Mr. Optimist. When you're Mr. Do Nothing, you're Mr. Do Nothing. When you're Mr. Doolittle, you're Mr. Doolittle. When that means that, it doesn't mean what you want it to mean. It means what you want other people to think of you. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with yourself? What do I want to do with myself? What I want to do could not mean what you want to do. We could be different, but have the same idea. But the differences are the idea and or the personification of those ideas. That doesn't mean that we're at odds. It could mean we're at odds. It could mean we're not at odds yet. We're at odds soon. What that doesn't mean, it doesn't mean despise. It means love, but not despise. Despise doesn't mean love. More than like love doesn't mean hate. Hate is an action, an idea. When you say you hate, it means you very strongly dislike. And it's not an offense. That means that you could be a good guy. But say, for one day, man, I hate this day. Man, I hate this weather. Man, I hate this. Man, I hate that. It doesn't mean what it doesn't mean. You could have a guy, a gal, saying, man, gee, I love this weather. I love this day. And it doesn't mean I hate this day and I love this day. It means what you want it to mean. It doesn't mean what it doesn't mean. And it does mean what it doesn't mean. What it means is why we do it. Why we do it and why we do it good. We do it because we love to do it. We do it because we don't love to do it. We love to do it and we don't love to do it. It's not good. It is good. They want differences other than what they define as differences. They define differences as what they interpret it as non-hypocritical thinking. Non-hypocritical thinking gets you critically thinking. And non-critical thinking gets you critically non-thinking. You can do it You can't do it. You can't do it. You can do stuff they don't want you to. And that's why the whole world and the whole country is in this state of affairs. And the state of affairs is the way you think of it as a state of affair. The way you do it is not what you want to do, but what you want to do now. Until next time, Reymega Leader, signing off.